We wondered whether we could build on the Leicester game. We also wondered whether we'd be telling our mums to just hold off on the tea. We've done both. The Brentford Cup match vlogs coming up, Newcastle fans. So do us a favour and make sure you stick around. Me ma. We're still not going home for tea, so just keep it either frozen. I'm going to say frozen because I'm confident tonight. Welcome back to Right White Banter, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is Cup night. We are getting that song out again. We are telling our Mars that we might not be home for tea. I'm starving, man, so it might have to be something on the go in the stadium, but we live in hope. And I want to start this video by saying that this match tonight is our biggest of the season. And I totally appreciate, I was thinking about this before I even jumped on a video, that there are fans watching this around the world, which is great, anyone who is, who might not quite see it that way, like Carabao Cup. Am I really going to go to the pub? Am I really going to watch this at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever daft time some of you guys have to watch it, who aren't maybe from England, who see the Carabao, as a lot of people do, as like the lesser competition in England. I get that. But trust me when I say, well, I can only speak for myself, and I'd like to hope thousands of other Newcastle fans, winning a cup is the pinnacle. It is the moment that I manifest in my head, think about how upset I would be in the stands, and we tasted it 2 years ago. Leicester City at home, quarter-final stage 2 seasons ago. He's from Blythe. We all remember that. Dan Burns' first goal, that iconic dance in the dressing room. It was amazing, and we are now one match away from a 2-legged semi-final. That's the key word for me. Look, Tottenham, Man U, Arsenal, Palace, Liverpool, Southampton. Are we expecting maybe a Tottenham, if I was a guessing man, Tottenham, Liverpool, Arsenal semi-final pot? Yes. Is that very, very difficult for Newcastle to even think about a final if we got there? Yes, but 2 legs is where things get interesting, because St James's Park, which is just behind me, probably can't see, as I'm walking into town for the match, is where things can happen. And 2 legs, anything can happen, and that's why winning tonight against Brentford is massive. And look, it's a bit of a weird one because we've just played them, less than 2 weeks ago, which was awful, game of 2 halves. But what I realised in that first half, which was the main point of frustration for every Newcastle fan in that away end that emptied, was that we are better than Brentford. And I'm sorry if there's any Brentford fans watching this, that might be egg on my face at the end of this match vlog. But I think Brentford fans will be honest enough to admit, with Gordon, with Isak, with Bruno, on paper, we are a better team. And I thought in the first half, the goals we conceded was sloppy, but we were the better attacking side. And Brentford's away form, I don't have the numbers in front of me on that one tonight, has been pretty awful. Amazing at home, in their G-Tech Stadium, but away from home, it's a different kettle of fish. We've had some good memories against these. I remember we beat them 5-1 a couple of seasons ago when Bruno helped himself to a few. This was the draw we all wanted. Look, Southampton at home would have been nice. There's a couple in there that would have been probably nicer, but Brentford at home in the quarter-final of a cup. Let's get the job done tonight. Leicester City was a brilliant reaction to what has been a tough couple of weeks, but inconsistency will be Newcastle's downfall, and I sound like a stuck record saying that tonight. We need to go out and prove that Leicester game was not a one-off, and every single player in that dressing room should be motivated to get a step closer to Wembley. And if they're not, they shouldn't be playing for this football club, in my opinion. So, without further ado, let's get up to St James's Park. I'm a little bit out of breath. Oh, I definitely slow down on the gym pre-Christmas. Don't we all? Let's get up to St James's Park, sink a couple of pre-match beers, and I'm going to pop my head in the canny, lad. I went in there for a quick one after the Leicester game, just where Sinners used to be, for any romantics of the Newcastle nightlife. Going to pop in there for a cheeky one, get inside St James's Park. Let's hope it's not like cup atmospheres of recent, because some of them have been a bit, to say the least. Because but as we get the quarter-final stage, you'd expect a lot of the regular Newcastle fans, and I just want to go on record and say I don't have an issue with other fans coming to matches, just the atmospheres have been a little bit stale in places. So without further ado, like I said, there's going to be no stats tonight because Carabao Cup stats are very hard to come by. Let's get amongst it, get over there and get through the Cup semi-final again, and one step closer to them beautiful Wembley Archers. Who you lads? Right, I'm on the double front here. Diet Coke, it's not my usual pre-match tip, but team news has just dropped. unchanged from Saturday, which I'm absolutely delighted to see. Hopefully Eddie Howe is starting to learn when things are going well, keep it that way. So fingers crossed we do the business tonight. Away Eddie Howe's. Wembley bound mad. Have to put the tea on hold and maybe stick it in the freezer. I tell you what, you might have to. It might be out of date by the time that March 16th date runs around. And yes, that is the key one here, because Eddie Howe's Mags live to fight another day in the Carabao Cup. And I tell you what, I'm going to start before we get into the game, before we get into who played well, who didn't. What I'm going to talk about is what is most important for me going into that match is consistent performing between two games against teams who, let's face it, Brentford, Leicester, forgetting about the Cup, just in general, are a little bit of the lesser sides. And I said against Leicester that our average points per game against bottom side teams was 0.86 points per game. This might not be a cup match, but I am absolutely delighted that we've followed up a convincing 4-0 win against Leicester with a certain level of consistency. And yes, did Eddie Howe get the players up because it's a cup competition? Did the players already feel up for it because it was a cup competition? Maybe. But regardless, that's something we haven't seen this season. I tell you what, yes, we've got suspensions and injuries, etc. going into this Christmas period. If there is ever a good time to pick up some form, it is before you go into 5 games in 18 days. And before we get into the cup stuff, which I said at the start of this vlog, that's what was most important. That's what I'm most happy about. Look, where do we start? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to say there was no fans around tonight. It's normally the case with midweek games. A vanish show, and this is about, 10 minutes after the match is finished, everyone's gone home, getting ready closer for Santa Claus coming. But look, where do we start with that one? Look, team news, I was delighted Eddie Howe went with the same team, and that was a message to me. That was a message that Eddie Howe, who I honestly think has made mistakes this season in chopping and changing. Brentford, the last time we played these, Gordon and Tonali coming out was him trying to be too cute with his squad. Yes, we had a game the following Wednesday. I understand, I get it, but it just didn't work. It didn't work for me. Sorry, we had the game the previous Wednesday. And I thought tonight, to see him play the same team and give them momentum, he thought, you know what, let's stick to what got us Champions League. Same group of players, same intensity, same momentum. And momentum is a key word for me tonight. And that's what we are continuing at the Christmas break. Look, first half, I thought we came out exactly how I expected us to. Brentford have not been very good away from home. We can sing and dance about them at home in the Premier League, and that's what I've done. That's what I did when we got beat, although that was our own downfall. Away from home, they are not the same side. They really need, although it was a terrible atmosphere at the G-Tech Stadium, they need their home fans on board with them. And it was just all Newcastle, and that's what I love to see. Press. Brentford, in certain positions, in my opinion, they are very average. And Buemo, their best player, wasn't even starting, which I don't know whether that was injury, whether it was keeping him for the league. I don't know, but I was delighted about that. And he wasn't playing, and we just got into them. We had a couple of half chances, but then Sandro Tonali, we'll touch on him individually wise in a second. Sandro Tonali gets the ball rolling, great strike, bang, crash, wallop. And then we've got a bit to build on. And then just before half time, Sandro Tonali does it again with a really controlled finish from a set piece, which what I will say, that's amazing to see a score from a set piece. That's a couple, if you include the move against Leicester from the short corner, that's a couple in the space of a couple of days. That is nice. We've got that monkey off our back, if you like. Comfortable half-time. The most comfortable half-time pinch we've ever had. Second half, can we keep that intensity up? I thought we did. Gordon missed a chance. Murphy missed a chance. Willock missed a chance when he came on for Joe Linton half-time. We kept that intensity. On another day, let's be totally honest, it could have been 5, it could have been 6. Brentford scored very, very late on. That's most disheartening for Dubravka. I don't think anybody in the stands in a cup game really cared. Disappointing, yeah. Was it a bit sloppy? One pass through, one pass across the box. Yeah, it was. But Dubravka is going to be the only man in the whole of the Newcastle upon Tyne area too bothered about that, because his clean sheet of 2 in 3 days since coming back in goes out the window. But that was comfortable. Brentford fans, there's few of them. I've got to say, very few of them. I know it's a small stadium they have. It's not a massive fan base, but that was a disappointing backing for a quarter final. They made very little noise when that went in. The game was done for a very, very long time. And that is the level of comfort that we had 2 seasons ago. And I said that the Leicester game was so familiar with the team that got Champions League football, that won week after week after week, that made a route. Even last season, I look back last season, the season that's seen as a disappointment, we beat... Hey! Up the Mags! Another Steward. Same Steward, might be the same Steward. Hey! Chanting black and white banter. Stewards for Newcastle chanting black and white banter is what I'm all about. Last season we were beating teams. I remember we beat Palace 4-0, Brentford 2-0. We were winning comfortably against the sides we were expected to win against. That's gone out the window this season, and that's been a problem. That's why that is so important. That level of comfort was all the way through. Gordon looked up for it. Murphy, as bad as I thought he was in spells when he even scored 2 goals against Leicester, Murphy had a better game tonight. Zippy, Livramento and Hall. I thought Livramento defensively tonight looked a little bit iffy, but Lewis Hall, my God, his confidence is grown game after game after game. And I'm not going to make this the Lewis Hall show again, but let's get on to individual performances if we're going to. Look, sometimes football is romantic, and in a week and a half where all we've had is shite in the press about Sandro Tonali wanting to move, he's not happy. Do I, to a degree, think that Tonali ever wanted this move to Newcastle? No, I don't. That's my controversial opinion that's not based off anything. He loved Milan, he was a Milan boy, they wanted the money. Did they know he had a gambling problem? We don't know. But all of the stories that have come out, and he did a pre-match interview, for him to bang in 2 goals in a week where it's just this. Apparently TalkSport deleted their interview about their article about him, saying that he wanted to leave and he was unhappy. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But for him to score 2 goals and basically be the hero tonight, as he was against Palace a couple of weeks ago in that deeper role, as he was against Leicester, I thought he was brilliant. Do I think Tonali is a strict number 6? No. And I thought the goals that he scored tonight proved everything that I think about him, that yes, I want to see him playing there because he's so good and he offers us so much protection, but I don't want to see him restricted to never getting forward, because that man can strike a ball and that man knows where the goal is. And I thought he was brilliant tonight, and he is going to continue to be brilliant. I think Eddie Howe's now realising this man cannot be dropped. Ipswich away cannot be dropped. Other performance tonight, I thought Gordon was good, Gordon was bright. I thought Alexander Isak had one of his quiet nights tonight. I thought our whole defence was really solid. Lewis Hall, I don't want to keep talking about him. I thought Lewis Hall offered a movement going forward at every opportunity. I thought his decision-making defensively again was really good. I pulled up stats on Lewis Hall earlier in the week for a video that never got posted. Even his aerial duels, which was his weak point last season, and when he was at Chelsea, he's got some of the best aerial duels in our team this season. Look with Joe Linton. Look at the difference in size between them. I thought he was really good. I thought Bruno, are we seeing Bruno in the number 8? I'm still not convinced that Bruno is an out-and-out number 8 behind the striker. But I tell you what, he's not doing too badly, is he? He does like to support the attack. He does like to create things. He's not the best striker of a ball. And I thought he was solid again tonight. He had that passion. He had that drive. He looked like a man who wanted to be in the semi-finals. Look, we have got options coming off the bench. Although Barnes was a little bit quiet, but the options are important. Trippier to come on as a substitute is lovely. And I just thought, generally speaking, tonight, we were really good. Now, where does this leave us? Well, that leaves us in the semi-final with Arsenal, with Liverpool, and with Tottenham or Man U. And because it's 2 legs, I tell you what, Newcastle can beat anyone on their day in this beautiful place we get to call home. Away from home, that's been dodgy. Do I fancy us to go and win at Liverpool? No. Do I fancy us to go and win at the Emirates? No. The Cup's anyone's when it's over 2 legs. God, I think back to Sunderland. Dare I even speak of Sunderland getting to the final years ago when they went to Man United away from home. And that was a game they were never expected to win over 2 legs. And they did the business. Anything can happen in semi-finals. We were very lucky 2 years ago to get Southampton, but this was our biggest game of the season. We've won it. We've got loads of momentum as I jump on that bus to Ipswich on Saturday in the most busy time. Potentially, you could argue one of the most busy and important times of the season for any football club is the Christmas festive schedule. I'm absolutely over the moon that we've bounced on from Leicester and showed the same level of consistency. And I will respect Eddie Howe for keeping his team exactly the same when he could have made tweaks with Ipswich in mind on Saturday. That's what I think is important to this Newcastle side. Our defence has been relatively good all season, minus a couple of blips because he's kept it the same. Let's hope that these players are now starting to get that rhythm, because Tonali plays with Bruno, Murphy, Gordon. I think Murphy's our out-and-out right-hand side midfielder, let's face it. Splits opinion, but whatever. Isak's our top man. On to the semi-finals we go. The draws tomorrow. I'm going to be absolutely shitting a brick all day to see who we get. The first leg being away from home for me is really important, because this place rocking, if we can just defend for our lives in the first game and maybe not nick a goal, anything is to play for. On to the semi-final we go. Newcastle fans, drop down, give us a little like, give us a follow, get Black and White Banter across all social media. There's always something going on my channels, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. Keep the faith. I cannot wait to get on the bus to Ipswich on Saturday. There will be a match vlog for Ipswich. I am going down on that trip down to Portman Road for the first time in God knows how many years. So please, whack that follow, whack that subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, because Newcastle United are in the semi-finals of the Cup. And Mum, if you're watching this, get that tea aside, stick it in the freezer, as nice as it probably is, because we might not be home for tea for quite a while just yet. Away, Eddie Howe's nice. Come on!